Subscribe for more History Muffin. It's what Lincoln would have wanted. The Civil War, a contentious and divisive time for ancient Americans, and a turning point in American history. Some of you might not know a lot about the American Civil War, but if you saw Captain America's Civil War, it's pretty much the same plot, but with worse CGI. By 1861, the southern states of the United States had built their economy on slavery, or as slave owners called it, $0 a year salary plus no benefits. When Northern sentiment started leaning towards abolishing their human rights violation money-making scheme, the Confederacy of the South thought it was a good time to try to kill the other half of the country. While the Northern states fought to preserve the Union or to free the slaves, not everybody in the North felt sympathy for the anti-slavery cause. Enter Clement Vallandigham, darling of the Northern pro-slavery movement. This Ohio politician spent his political life fighting against the human and civil rights of Black Americans. What a loser. Not to mention his other beliefs, like being anti-Civil War and anti-big government. Doesn't anyone care about the slave owners' feelings? Clement Vallandigham spent his time making angry anti-war rhetoric and criticizing Abraham Lincoln's administration. He claimed Lincoln just wanted to be a dictator and called the Emancipation Proclamation, quote, totally unfair to us white people. He's on record as saying the Civil War was, quote, a war for the freedom of blacks and the enslavement of whites. Or in other words, so if everyone is equal, then how can white people be the best? Lincoln thought Vallandigham was ridiculously annoying, and while I'm sure Lincoln would have liked to execute this guy with his bare hands, Lincoln was not, in fact, a dictator. While few people in history deserve to be tied to some train tracks like Clement, I begrudgingly allow that his career did spurn some philosophic discussion about which constitutional liberty should be sacrificed during wartime. Wait, I did something good with my life? You see, the Civil War was becoming such a grave matter for the Union that they started restricting any speech that attacked the war effort. New law, everyone shut up. This kind of speech included calling out leaders on their strategy, disagreeing with conscription, and being overtly anti-war. But these were all the favorite hobbies of our sweet little protagonist here. In 1863, during which time Ohio was under military control, they issued General Order No. 38, which deems opposition to the war as sympathy to the enemy and treason. Vallandigham, never being able to keep his fat mouth shut, publicly denounced the order itself, which quickly got him court-martialed and imprisoned. While some might see it as honorable for him to defend an American principle such as free speech, you should remember that Vallandigham means free speech for white guys only. Oh, sorry, no thank you. Lincoln himself had some choice words when Vallandigham publicly called for Union soldiers to desert from the army. Must I shoot a simple-minded soldier boy who deserts, while I must not touch a hair of a wily agitator who induces him to desert? Lincoln, not wanting to make a martyr out of this jailed man, chose the infinitely funnier option, banishment from the country. Okay. Get out. Vallandigham was transported to the Confederate border and pushed over the line. Vallandigham said, I am a citizen of Ohio and of the United States. I am here within your lines by force and against my will. I therefore surrender myself to you as a prisoner of war. I don't want him. Wait, you have to. No, we don't. Somebody has to take me. Well, we just kicked you out. But... We're not doing it. But... Not our problem anymore. Take me! No. Up, up! Clement wanna go up! This line is too small for me to stand on! Vallandigham eventually made his way to Canada and snuck back into Ohio. Lincoln knew he had returned illegally, but in Lincoln's words, ugh, I just can't deal with this freaking guy right now. However, pro-slavery, anti-war rhetoric only remains as popular as war and slavery exist. Once the Union dealt crushing defeats to the Confederacy and slavery started going out of vogue, Vallandigham's support base and his career began to evaporate out from under him. Guys, wait! Well, what about slavery? That's still cool, right? Following political defeat after defeat, Vallandigham eventually retired to a quiet life as a private lawyer. And here's where God had the last laugh. In 1871, Vallandigham defended a man named Thomas McGeehan, who was accused of murder by shooting another man in a bar. Vallandigham's defense was that the victim's gun was very sensitive, and it was actually the victim who shot himself in the stomach as he was pulling out his own gun. Some might call Vallandigham's argument heroic, noble even. I wouldn't though. All rise. We are here today to determine the guilt of this guy. Mr. Vallandigham, how would you argue in defense of this guy? Well, Your Honor, it's all very simple. The gun of the victim had a sensitive trigger. When the victim was pulling his weapon out to shoot the defendant, he accidentally shot himself. Ow. The court rules the defendant not guilty. By God, he did it. The crazy son of a gun did it. I'm sorry I never believed in your dream, son. I forgive you, Dad. All I ever wanted was for you to be proud of me. What do you say? How about we give this relationship another shot? Let's go home. Maybe we can start fresh. You know, like a real family.